All right, good afternoon and welcome back to Princess Sits channel. Still the 9th of September 2025, and it's a wonderful Tuesday afternoon. And we have a message coming from our Chief Admin Andy Bright today on the Grand Disbursement Update, the full truth according to him that you must know. He said some mind-blowing statements that has to do with stakeholders receiving fund. So I want you to stay calm and get all the information right from this submission. All right, it says the long-awaited Pioneer Grant Disbursement has been the subject of tension, debates, and growing frustration within the community. And as beneficiaries and stakeholders continue to anticipate the final results and release of funds, several conflicting narratives have actually flooded the social media, creating confusion and division among subscribers. But today, I want to set the record straight and present the undiluted truth about where we stand regarding this disbursement process. So, it further says that as of last week, all stakeholders in charge of disbursing the grants to the masses have been completely disbursed to. And the Bright is still talking. He said, this is a fact that the funds have successfully landed in the designated stakeholders' bank accounts. However, and this is where most people are misled, he said the money is currently placed on Lien by the disbursement authorities. Now, for clarity's sake, what Lien means is that when you say that the fund is on Lien, it means that the funds are presently in the account but temporarily restricted from being accessed or withdrawn. In simpler terms, the money is there, but no stakeholders can touch it until the authorities give the green light. That's what it means that the fund is on Lien. Now, further to that, this Lien wasn't imposed as a punishment or setback. Rather, it is a regulatory measure to ensure due process and coordinated distribution. Authorities want to maintain a strict, secure framework to avoid any illegal diversions, fraud, or mismanagement of the grant funds. So the expectation, as officially communicated, is that the authorities will lift the lien today, according to him. Today, which would be Wednesday. Today is what? Today should be night now. Today's Tuesday rather. Today, Tuesday, 9th of September 2025, granting stakeholders full access to commence the disbursement to beneficiaries. Now, he also further on this and say he wants to clarify the controversy in Ngozi Israel's statements as of what was said this morning. Recently, Ngozi Israel made statements claiming that no stakeholder has received the grant or the disbursement. While I understand the intention may have been to reassure people, this claim is misleading and incomplete, and the Bright said. Then he mentioned that here is the truth. Yes, stakeholders have received the funds. Their accounts have been credited. Then, no, stakeholders cannot currently access these funds due to the lien. Then he pressed further and says, rather than outrightly dismissing the disbursement progress, Ngozi Israel should have clarified the real issues, which is restricted access. Unfortunately, her statement caused unnecessary confusion and further strained trust within the grant community. He said, and this is why transparency is critical at this stage. Beneficiaries deserve to know the exact situation, not half-truths or confusing sound bites. So why does the lien exist? So a lot of people have asked, if the funds are meant for us, Why block them? The answer lies in the accountability and the compliance structure. The disbursement authorities are under immense pressure from regulatory bodies, anti-fraud agencies, and financial supervisors to ensure that the grants are handled lawfully, and which involves prevention of illegal diversions, protection of stakeholders, shielding them from legal troubles should any irregularities arise, then maintaining credibility, which the Pioneer project must retain trust with oversight agencies to avoid being shut down. And while the delay is so frustrating, these measures are designed to protect the entire ecosystem in the long run. So, moving forward, what are the expectations now? That once the lien is lifted, Pioneer stakeholders are expected to immediately commence disbursements to their respective beneficiaries. And the system has already been designed to flow systematically. And the process has been tested in such simulations and is expected to work seamlessly once funds are fully unlocked. Then he had a caveat. He said, however, there is also an unspoken understanding that if the lien is not lifted today and another week goes by without action, the patience of beneficiaries will run out, and rightfully so. So Chivan Bright says, our stand as beneficiaries is that we, the masses, we have been more than patient. We have endured endless delays, inconsistent updates, multiple conflicting statements from authorities, coordinators, and spokespersons, yet our calmness shouldn't be mistaken for weakness. Then he said categorically that, let this be clear, if this week ends and stakeholders are still not authorized to commence disbursement, we will move beyond online agitations. And from next week onward, we will step out from the comfort of our homes and knock on the doors of those directly responsible for this process. Because accountability must start somewhere. And as subscribers, we reserve the right to demand answers, not just statements. This isn't a threat. It is a call for responsibility according to him. Those entrusted with the people's expectations cannot continue to play with their hopes and livelihoods. So, a call for unity and calmness. Despite the frustrations, we must resist the temptation to turn against ourselves. The beneficiaries are one community, and internal conflicts only weaken our collective resolve and voices. Let us focus on facts and not rumors. Avoid fueling misinformation or personal attacks against coordinators unless it is backed by verifiable evidences. And at this delicate stage, our unity is our strongest weapon. Remember that the funds are real. Stakeholders have been credited. The lien is temporary. And the expectation is for disbursements to commence immediately once restrictions are lifted. On a final word, we are at the edge of the long-awaited breakthrough, but this final stretch demands clarity, patience, and readiness. I urge the disbursement authority to act swiftly and responsibly. The livelihood of millions hangs in the balance, and continued delays risk undermining the very credibility of this project. However, if there is no tangible progress this week, beneficiaries will have no choice but to demand accountability physically and directly. For now, we remain very hopeful. We stay watchful, and above all, we move forward together. So, summarily, stakeholders have received the grant funds, according to what Chief Andy Bright is saying right now. And their accounts have been credited since last week. But the funds are currently on Lien, meaning it's inaccessible until the authorities approve the release of the funds. So Lien is expected to be lifted today, Tuesday, and the claim that Ngozi Israel made that none of the stakeholders have received funds. According to Chief Andy Bright, he said that statement is inaccurate and it was half truth. That she was expected to have said everything because they deserve to know it. I should have just said that the fund is on Lien, it's inaccessible for now, rather than saying that there's no fund that has been received by stakeholders at all. Beneficiaries will demand direct accountability if delays persist beyond this week, according to him, which also similarly synergizes with what Andy Bright, what's the name again? Angbara Daniel also say yesterday or the day before that is giving them till next week Sunday, and else something. So until our unity within the grant community, I think, remains very much essential during this critical period. So that is the information we got from Chief Admin Andy Bright today, and I think this a little bit shed more light, better than what we had before in the morning, and I hope that this clarifies one or two things to us. If it is Lien, Lien is not forever; it's just temporary, and the reasons have been stated right in this particular VN. So that's what we have for us this afternoon. We're drawing the curtain for this afternoon commentary. Until we get a better update again, we would definitely oblige you with the information necessary for your field. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.